2 months ago, I was devastated to hear one of my idols in the hip hop media space, Charlemagne the God, say one of the most idiotically stupid and unaware things I have ever heard him say. In an episode of his podcast, Brilliant Idiots, he stated that Chief Keef does not belong on the top most influential rappers list because Sosa and Chicago drill did not influence the world. I was devastated to hear one of my idols in this space say something so asinine and completely wrong. It's almost as if he had not listened to hip hop for the past 10 years, because that would be the only way you would be able to think this. The 2011 to 2014 Chicago drill wave is undoubtedly one of the top 3 most influential hip hop movements of all time. First is 90s East Coast, then tied for second and third is Chicago in 2015 and 2018 Atlanta. But there is no question on if Chief Keef and the movement led by him was globally influential. The slang, the slow stutter flow, the fashion, the production, the aesthetic of the music videos, smoking on deads. Every rapper since 2011 has used one of, if not all of these elements at some point in their career, and it's not something that can be argued against. The first wave of New York drill, being Bobby Shmurda and Casanova, took directly from the Chicago drill wave, utilizing just about all of the aforementioned elements. Specifically, the slang and fashion took the entire world by storm. People called their enemies ops and slutty girl stots in Africa. 21-year-old white girls in Nebraska say glowed up. I will shoot Charlemagne some bail because he is a mogul, he's old as fuck, he's extremely busy with his ton of businesses, books, TV shows, and other ventures, so it makes sense that he would say something so dumb. He does not have time to be up on how hip-hop has evolved and the sounds that have progressed that evolution. But what really appalled me is how he said it so confidently. Charlemagne did not know who TK was when Meek Mill brought it up in a 2018 Breakfast Club interview. At that time, TK was unavoidable by anyone paying attention. These 2 instances confirm for me that Charla is so disconnected from what is actually influential, and whoever is telling him who the hottest up-and-comers are is severely uninformed. At least at that time, they had to be. This is also a great example of someone who is nostalgia-locked, and anything that does not sound like what they grew up listening to, they will mentally disregard. Many people who claim to be hip-hop heads are in this state and are not really hip-hop heads. They're 90s hip-hop heads or lyrical hip-hop heads. If you're really in love with rap music, you should be obsessed with listening to what is new and hot. And even if a sound comes to prominence that you don't like, you should take time to figure out why it has become popular. Charlemagne has clearly not done this over the years, and that's okay. I'm sure he knows everything about G.I.D. It reminds him of, classic lyrical hip-hop he grew up on, but just don't call yourself a hip-hop head if you don't like to figure out what's new.